Hello everyone, it's Shauna coming to you live from her craft room in Edmond, Oklahoma. Today is February 14th, 2026. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you guys are having a fun day celebrating it with the ones that you love. We are going to be doing a fun slider Easter card. It opens up like this. Really cool, kind of a twist. Sorry about the glare. This paper has a laminate coating on it. It reminds me of the laminate purses that we used to carry back in the 80s. Do you guys remember those? While everybody is jumping on, I'm going to make sure that I am getting over here and doing all the technology stuff, that I'm going live in the right place. Yes, I'm faced the right way. Landscape. Let me turn on live chat. That way when you guys are hopping on, you can say hi. If you don't say hi, I don't know that you're here. I don't know that you're watching. So make sure you say hi. And then let me make sure, can you hear me? Turn on live. Yes. Okay. So all the technology stuff is working. Hip hip hooray. Technology problems are never fun. I'm going to get this out of the way real quick. This is a bundle set. This is Woolly Friends. It's a bundle set with a punch instead of dies. This is a builder's punch. So you can build this cute little lamb, this sheep. So let me move this out of the way real quick. Let's do some housekeeping real fast. Again, 3 levels of creativity. Stampin' Up! Offers something for everyone. So we've got you covered no matter what. We have our level 1 for beginners. Hi Mom, how are you? This is our step-by-step kits. They come with instructions. We come out with 2 new kits every month, sometimes 3. So we have the brown box ones. These can be found on StampinUp.com. And then we have our paper pumpkin, which is our subscription kits. You get one every month. You have to subscribe and become a member. So those are normally card kits. Sometimes there's home decor, stuff like that. But then we also have our scrapbooking kits, which I kind of forget to talk about, but we do offer kits in both cards and scrapbooking. So this one has the step-by-step instructions to make these 3 2-page layouts. So scrapbooking workshop kits, card kits, and then our paper pumpkin monthly subscription kits. Speaking of our subscription kits, this is the one that just ended, so Celebrate Spring. And I just want to show this. I know you can't order it anymore, but it does coordinate with the paper and stuff that we are using in today's video, as well as last week's video. So really a cute kit. It's on the way to my house. They notified me Thursday that it's been shipped. So I'm hoping to have it in time to do next week's Facebook Live with it. I should have it by then. Speaking of boxes, I got a Stampin' Up! Box today, my February order. So at the end of this video, if you guys want to stay tuned, we'll kind of go through there and you can see some goodies in some upcoming videos. But this is the one that just ended. It coordinates with the Easter Joy Sweet collection. So I'm going to take that off of there because that one's gone. This is the current one. So if you're interested in this, this is Fluttering Garden. It is a beautiful hummingbird nature. I know I've seen some sneak peeks. There's a Happy Mother's Day stamp. It does come with 2 additional, well, it comes with 2 stamp sets instead of 1 because it has a free additional stamp set in the kit. So if you're interested in this, and you haven't become a Paper Pumpkin member, and you want to and you can't figure it out, holler at me. I'll help you with that. You can start it and stop it, so you don't have to get every month. If there's one that comes along that you're just like, nope, that's not me, I don't want it, suspend it. Don't get that month. Wait till the next month. So if this is something you're interested, let me know. Fluttering Garden, you have to subscribe by March 10th to get this kit. But it's beautiful. Again, there's 2 stamp sets. So we have our kits. And then we have our level 2, which is our quick and easy options. It's our mix and match. It's ephemera packs. There's a small section in our catalog that kind of goes over the mix and match section. And basically what it is it has ephemera packs, so laser die cuts that you can mix and match with sentiments and card bases and stickers and ribbon, and you don't have to have very many supplies, and you can just, everything coordinates, so you can mix and match it and put together some quick and easy cards. So that's our level 2. And then level 3 is most of the catalog, pretty much anything goes, creativity your own way. Okay, let me get these kits out of the way. So Stampin' Up! Offers way more than just scrapbooking supplies. They do have craft classes, virtual retreats. I'm trying to find a spot to sit this stuff. You guys, by the time that my Facebook Lives are over with, my craft room is a nut house. But we do have a craft class coming up. It's February 19th, so this coming Thursday. It uses the Lovely Blossoms. These craft classes, this one is $25. It's item 170929. When you sign up for the craft class, it does send you an email and it gives you a link to a private Facebook group. So in this group, they will have the live. You can chat, you can comment. Sometimes there's giveaways. You learn tips, tricks, techniques. Now, you don't have to create the cards like they create. But if you want to, then you will also need the Lovely Blossom Suite Collection. And unfortunately, if you're waiting until today to put in an order, you're going to have to expedite this to your house to get it in time for Thursday. But this is item 167193. The live craft class is going to be at 2 p.m. Mountain Time, February 19th. Now, if you cannot attend at that time, you can view it later. So you'll always be part of that Facebook group, and you can come and go, watch it, start it, stop it, all of the good stuff. So right now we have this wonderful mini catalog to order from. This started in January. It goes to the end of April. We have our current annual catalog. This is a year-long catalog. It ends the end of April as well. So both of these catalogs will be going at the end of April. They will soon be coming out with stuff that's going to be leaving. Now, we always lose a group of end colors. So we always have 2 groups of 5 end colors that run, like one runs 24 to 25 and one runs 25 to 26. So the 24 to 25 group of end colors, so the Peach Pie, the Pretty in Pink, the Shy Shamrock, Summer Splash, Petunia Pop, the really nice colors that we've been using because they go really well with this Easter Joy Suite, those are going out. And when end colors go out, the stuff, I mean, once they put out that list and say, okay, last chance, get them before they're gone, they go like that. So if you're wanting to replenish your stock, do it now, don't wait. Or you'll be sad because they're gone. So we'll be coming out with those lists, gosh, guys, March. It'll come really fast. We have our online exclusives from January. Now we come out with new online exclusives every 2 months. So as a demonstrator, we just got to pre-order for the March. So you'll be seeing new products come out this coming March. I have a couple of those in this box over here that came this morning. So again, if you want to stick around to the end of the video, you can see those at the end. They just updated the last chance list the 1st of February. So if there's anything that you were on the fence about that you wanted to wait and kind of get a deal on, if it's still around, they've got it marked down. Product of the month. The new one came out for February, so every month they have a new item that you can only get if you place a $75 order. The item is $5. Sometimes it's paper, sometimes it's stamps, sometimes it'll be dies. So I just looked, and all of the products of the month are still available, which means you can get the one from December. This is something that they just started. So December's is still there. It was a very pretty pack of blue floral paper. This is my favorite one. This was January's. It's called Fabulous Sayings. Love this stamp set. And then we got a new one for February. And again, because my box just came this morning, I pulled this out. I haven't pulled anything else out, but this is called Painted Illusions. I love this paper. It's 167977. It's very springy. Normally our packs of paper, there's 2 of 6 different pieces. So a front and a back, so 1 of each side, but there's 2 of each. This pack of paper, there's 3 pieces of each, so there's only 4 different designs. But here's the front. There's the back. Love. If you know me, I love bright, vibrant colors. I love tie-dye. Love watercoloring. Just that wash. Here is the second page, and again, 3 pieces of each. But I love the ombre effect, how the colors just melt into each other. Here's the back side of it. Reminds me of seaweed at the bottom of an ocean. And this reminds me of Little Mermaid. Here is the third design. Here is the back of it. But very bright, springy. I cannot wait. I'm loving making these spring cards, these Easter cards. I'm ready for this snow, this cold weather to go away. It's not my thing. This is the 4th design. And there's the second, the back side of that. So, anyway, again, $5 for this product. Product of the month. And this is the February one, Painted Illusions. Okay, let me put this back in its little, where did I put it? Its little sleeve. There it is. In the last announcement that I want to make, housekeeping, whatever you want to call it, is if you've ever thought about becoming a demonstrator, it's a great time to do it because Stampin' Up just came out with a exclusive join offer, which means this is the only way that you can get this product is by becoming a demonstrator. It is a new stamp positioner tool. So if you, sometimes when you ink up a stamp, you don't get the whole stamp, so you need to re-ink it and re-stamp it. And if you use this stamp positioner tool, it will lay down and you can do it multiple times, and not get, it goes right back down in the same spot. So hopefully that makes sense. But this tool is free right now if you want to become a demonstrator. If you're interested, reach out to me. I can let you know how to do it. That's the only way to get this tool. You cannot order it right now. It's supposed to be available for ordering later on. Don't know when. They have not given us a date. So, okay. That is all the new information. Okay. So, again, we're going to be using this wonderful pack of paper that I showed off last week called Easter Joy. I don't have much of this pack of paper left. I've been creating, and I'll show you all the cards at the end. But I've got, here's one pattern. So it's this beautiful blue flower tulip, and on the back is this cute little balmy blue bunny. I love it. So one side is like a laminate foil paper. You cannot tear this paper. I don't know any other way to describe it. So like, I don't know if you can see, but that is like not regular paper. That's like a foil laminate. Isn't that weird? We've never had paper like this before. So it's really cool. If you use it to make boxes and you score it and you take your bone folder and burnish it and make crisp edges, that silver foil peeks through instead of getting little edges. Kind of a nice little twist. So there's that print. There's this print right here, which is another tulip flower. This one's got eggs and carrots. It's got a white background. This is the back. So this is all I have left of this paper. It's just kind of small little pieces. Here's one side of it. Love that side. That's a Shy Shamrock. I think in last week's video I kept calling it Shaded Spruce. And I am so sorry. Shy Shamrock. And again, these are the end colors that are leaving. So if you love this paper, you might want to stock up, because here's the Pretty in Pink, the Shy Shamrock, the Balmy Blue, Petunia Pop's part of that, and it's not on there, but this Peach Pie. Those are all the end colors that are fixing to leave. So here's a little bit of left that I have of this, and then I have a little bit left of the, let me show you the back of that stripe. It's just kind of a crumb cake, almost a little flower, a little plus sign. And then here's this Easter egg. I always challenge myself to try to use the whole pack of paper and not waste. So doing a pretty good job of that. Love this because this is a basket weave. And if you saw on last week's episode with the Easter basket stamp bundle set, there's a great basket on there. We're going to be using it here in a couple weeks because I want to make a little treat box with it. But show you guys how to make some Easter goodies. But so that's the paper, and we're going to be using that paper again today. Like I said, I'm trying to use it all up, and I'll show you all the cards that I've made with it so far at the end of this video. Let's go ahead and let's get to card making. Okay, it's been rainy and overcast all day. I decided to do a live. Now the sun is coming through my big arched window. So now we're going to have this wonderful, weird, see these little lines? That is from the stuff on my window. It's like a design up there on the top of it. So I apologize, all the weird shadowing. Of course, when I go live, the sun decides to come out. Okay, so real quick before we get started on this card, I'm going to give you a trick to this punch so that you don't waste a lot of paper. So if you take your punch and you punch out, just take a piece of cardstock, just some scratch, and punch, put your little punch in there and punch out your image. I've got this butted all the way up, just kind of in the middle. Just punch it out. You're left with this. And then if you take this and you take your stamp set, this is not the right one, but I'm going to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. If you take your little pieces that go with this punch and you lay them inside the punch, like that. Take your head, take your little bell, take your little ribbon there, and then you take your Stampin' Block and you put it down like this. You can pick all of those pieces up. So it's going to save you a lot of time and a lot of effort. Here's the one that I have. So if you see, this matches up perfectly with that. So once you have this all on a block, then every time you ink this up, you stamp it, it's going to line up perfectly with your punch when you go to punch it out. Hopefully that makes sense. So save yourself a lot of time, a lot of trouble, and just do this at the beginning. I've had these stamps on this Stampin' Up block for at least 2 weeks now. But I'm not going to take it off because I have them lined up exactly. So every time I ink this up and I stamp it, I know that when I go in there with my punch, it's going to line up perfectly. Hopefully that makes sense. I think it does. Mom, did that make sense? Or am I just speaking gibberish? Let me know. So this is a cute, cute stamp. You make me happy, like a small little baby sheep, a you. Welcome, cutie. Sending flowers and sunshine. You're simply fabulous. This is called a two-step stamp because you can stamp your outline and then you can take this and use this and put this inside of it and color it. So you stamp the outline, then you take your full image and you stamp the color in it. Same with, we've got this ribbon right here, this little bow tie that goes underneath. You can stamp it and then take that and then stamp that in your ink and put it over top and it colors it for you. You can do that, or you can do it with your ink blends, whatever's easiest. The bell does the same thing. The little tulips on the flowers, the little leaves for the tulips. So fun. Here's some grass. Here's a little butterfly. Cute, cute Easter stamp set. So if you didn't like the Easter bunnies, which I don't know how you can't, this is what we did last week. So if you haven't watched last week's live, go back and watch it. Stinking adorable. Then if you're not a bunny person, maybe you're a sheep person. Laugh out loud, I guess. Oh, great, Mom. So I lost you. Okay. Well, I don't know how to make sense out of it any better. So, all right, let me put this in here. Okay. So I've already got the measurements for our cards. Let me grab our paper. Show you what we're going to need. And then I just take this and I stick it in the back of this. I have my stamps in here. If there were dies, I have my dies in here. So like here's the Easter one, the stamps on that side, the dies are on this side. And then if I make anything extra and I decide not to use it, I just stick it in there for a later date because I come back to these when I'm creating later on. So you will see there's already a sheep or a lamb, whatever you want to call it. There's an extra one with its little bow tie, its little bell. So don't throw away your pieces. Keep them because you never know when you'll need them. I reach back for them often. Okay, so I showed you the paper and I'm running low out of the paper, especially this piece right here. So instead of creating this card like this, I'm going to turn it and we're going to try to create it like this today. I think I'm going to love it even more, but we'll decide at the end. And the reason why I'm doing that is because the only piece of paper that I had big enough was landscape and not portrait. So this piece measures 5 1/8 by 2 5/8. So 5 1/8 long by 2 5/8 tall. And then here's the side piece that goes right here. This piece measures 5 1/8 wide by 1 5/8 tall. This one that's on the inside right here is 5 1/8 by 2 5/8. 5 1/8 wide, 2 5/8 tall. You're going to need a piece of the basic white, and it is 3 1/4 wide by 4 1/8 tall. It's going to be your little white piece right here. I did on this one make a little tick mark at the 3/4 mark right here, and that's just because since I'm going to be going this way instead of this way, when I stamp my flowers, I want to make sure that they show up. So I want to make a note to myself to not go below this, because this 3/4 of an inch down here is tucked underneath this piece of paper over here. You'll see what I mean when we're creating it. So this one is 3 3/4 wide by 4 1/4. This is the balmy blue. We're going to score this at 3/8 of an inch. And then this is our back piece back here. This is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And then this is going to be our magical part. This is the white piece along the back. It is 8 1/2 by 5 1/4. And we're going to score this at 2 3/4 and at 6 3/4. So those are the measurements of our paper. We're going to start with this piece first. So let me grab my Stampin' Up! Trimmer. And again, this is 8 1/2 by 5 1/4. We're going to score this at 2 3/4. So I'm going to move my dark one out of the way. We don't want to cut, we want to score. So here's my light scoring blade. And 6 3/4. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to grab my bone folder. We're going to fold and burnish. I've got some sticky stuff under there on these score lines, just so we can get some nice crisp folds. Okay, so you can see this is kind of what we're left with. Now again, remember, we're going to rotate our paper this way and we're going to make a card this way. We'll compare the two at the end, see what we like. We're going to go ahead and take our pretty designer series paper and put this on the inside and decorate it. So this is the piece that's 5 1/8 by 2 5/8. And if you'll remember, this paper does like to cup. So get your silicone mat. Make sure that you're putting your adhesive, whether it be a tape runner or your liquid green capped glue. You just want to make sure that you put that adhesive all the way to the edge. I'm going to just run my fingers along the sides and fold that extra adhesive back on itself so that it's not sticking out around the edges. If you do not get that adhesive all the way up to the edges, I've got a card that does it and I'll show it to you at the end. You're going to have a problem with your paper starting to lift off of the corners. So we're going to put this down. We're going to leave about a 1/16 of an inch border all the way around. So get this pretty straight with a nice and even border. Take your fingers around the edges just to make sure that you're pushing that all the way down. Again, this paper is wonderful paper. I don't want you to hate the paper. So don't hate the paper. It is beautiful paper. It's just a little bit different and you have to work with it a little bit different. Let me pull out, I should have done this before, but all of these are 8s. Don't hate the 8s, guys. On your tape measure, when you're looking at an inch, just to go back over this. So, of course, you have your 0 and your 1. You have your half. You know what a half is. You know what a 1/4 is. So, your 0, your 1/4, your half, your 3/4, your 1. Okay, let's talk about these little bitty lines. So, your 8s are in between. It's the big line that's in between your main measurements. And if you start counting the lines, that's how they get 1/8. This would be 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, 8/8. There's 8/8 in an inch. You know, it makes a whole, go back to whatever that grade was. So your little bitty ones are 1/16. So just a refresh, 1/16, your 8s, your 4ths, your halves, your main holes. Okay. Don't hate the 8s. Sometimes we need the 8s. I like the 8s. Okay. Now we're going to take this piece right here, this striped piece, and this was 5 1/8 by 1 5/8. So this 1/8 is in between your 5 and your 5 1/4. And this 1/8 is in between your 1 1/2 and your 1 3/4. Hopefully that helps you out. So many people hate it when I use the 8s. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Sometimes when the paper, your designer series paper, your pattern paper is beautiful, you want more of it to show than your basic blue piece, red piece, white piece, yellow piece cardstock. And the only way to do that is to do those 8s or those 1/16. Okay, so again, we're just going to take the adhesive all the way up to the edge. I'm folding this back on itself. This is to make sure that it doesn't curl up. You know, when you give your card to its recipient, you want it to look nice and neat. I've got some glue that kind of came over to the top. This is the piece that's going to go right here. So again, we're going to line this up, creating that little 1/16 of an inch border all the way around. Run your finger all the way around that designer series paper so that we can make sure that it's sitting flush and that it's catching all the edges. You don't normally have to do this on a piece of designer series paper, but this, because it cups, you do. So just take the extra time, do it right the first time. We're going to flip our paper over. We're going to put this piece right here. This is this piece right here. Again, this was 5 1/8. So in between the 5 and the 5 1/4. This is 2 5/8, so it's in between the 2 1/2 and the 2 3/4. I love I needed to use more of that side of paper for sure. But I loved the blue flowered paper as well. This is one of those instances where you're just torn on which side of the paper to use. But I love, this is probably out of that pack of paper my favorite piece. This is my second favorite. I would have loved if these were on two separate pieces of paper. Oh, decisions, decisions, decisions. What side of the paper are we going to use? I don't like making decisions like that. Okay. Again, we're going to line this up, making sure we've got the equal size border all the way around. Do you guys ever get tired of me saying that? I feel like I'm on repeat. Like I could just record myself and just push buttons like a radio station. Push this button for an applause. Push this button for line it up. Put the same equal size border. Okay, so here we are. We've got our pretty, pretty paper. Okay, again, we're doing our card like this time. So if we want to, we can go ahead and we can take this piece right here. Again, this was our normal standard size envelope, 5.5 by 4 1/4. Gonna put some adhesive on the back of this. This is just regular paper, so we don't have to use our silicone mat. We don't have to go all the way to the edges. We can just put adhesive on there, call it good. We're gonna line this up. I'm gonna stand up so that I can look over top of it. Again, making sure I get that equal size border all the way around. And I don't. I'm gonna flip this over. Here we go. Don't breathe. Okay. Now for the stamping part and for the slider part. Let's go ahead, let's score this one at the 3/8 of an inch. So I'm going to get my little score out here. Move my cutting blade down to the bottom. Again, this is 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. So the 3/8, remember, it is in between the half and the 0, 3/8. I want to make sure I get it on there. So it's just a really small, like I said, if you're looking between the 1 and the 2, it's easier to see. So there's 1, 2, 3. It's this line right here, and it's in between the 4th and the half. Put that down. I'm going to fold this over. I'm going to burnish that down. Okay, I'm going to put that to the side for a second because we're going to do some stamping. I'm going to get my black Memento ink and we're going to stamp a couple of different things. So on this Woolly Friends, there's a couple of different sheeps. So there's one that if the sheep is looking at you, I guess it could be turned backwards as well. That could be the front or the back. Or there's one that's where it's like leaping over. So on this card, here's the front. And then here's the one that it's leaping over. So two different sheeps right there. Now the leaping over does not have a punch. It's just this one that can be punched. So I've got my stamps here. I'm trying to think. Let's go ahead and let's just take a scratch piece of paper. So I've got my scratch piece of paper right here. And let's take this stamp that I've got everything lined up on. Now on these linen pads, you can kind of twist and get some really good ink. You can't do that with our other ink pads, the regular colors, because they have a, it's not a linen pad. So again, remember how your punch is. We've got the face to the right on your punch when you look at your punch. So that's how we want to stamp it on our paper. This is why we lined it up. So we got our stamped image, and then when we put this in our punch, see, instead of stamping a face, instead of stamping the body, instead of stamping the bow, the bell, we can stamp it all down at one time and punch one time. I'm just making sure that I'm getting an equal size border around all of that. So once you have it lined up, punch it out, and then you've got all of your pieces. That's why we lined it up on that piece of paper before we put it on our block. Now does it make sense, Mom? Does it help seeing it in action? Okay. So for the front of our card, like I said, we're going to design our card this way instead of portrait. So let's build our little sheep. I think I'm going to put our sheep, our little lamb, I'm sorry, I've got some, I don't know what that is. I got some little, it doesn't matter, but I think I'm going to put our little sheep over here and then put our saying, or do, no, I think I'm going to put our saying over here and our sheep over here. Okay, you could do it however you want, but let's put some adhesive on our little sheepy. We'll put him down here like this. And then I'm going to take a dimensional. You do want your minis and your big dimensionals. Let me grab those. So here's the big dimensionals. I need one for its little face. Oh, and before I put a dimensional on there, I do want to put some cheeks. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I have some little cheeks on him and some pink on his ears. I used the light petal pink for that. Just to give him some color. I'll put my big dimensional. And then, I don't know, let's go where he's leaning his head this way. You can tilt his head. Now you understand. Good, Mom. God. I'm glad you got it. Okay, and now I'm going to take some light pretty and pink. So this was light petal pink. This is light pretty and pink. This is one of the end colors right here that's going. And once that stuff runs out, you can't reorder it, and it goes fast. So again, if you guys like these colors, get them now before they go away. I'm going to take a mini dimensional, and I'm going to take my take your pick tool. It just makes it easier to lift it up. I'm going to put my little mini on here. And I'm going to peel off the back, maybe. Sometimes the backs on those dimensionals are the hardest part to do. And I'm going to slide this up under, because his head is popped up, we can slide that just underneath there where it's peeking out. Okay. So we don't need this little bell because I used the bow. So I'm going to put that in the back with my extra pieces. let's go ahead and let's do the saying, the sentiment. And this says, "You're simply fabulous." And then on the inside it says, "You make me happy." I could put, "You make me happy. You're simply fabulous" on the inside. Or there's also "Sending flowers and sunshine." And because this has flowers on it, I think that's the sentiment that I'm going to use for today's card. A 100 different ways to make a card. Tough decisions to be made. So I'm gonna put that right here. Again, this is just a scratch piece of paper. I'm using, once again, the Stylish Shapes dies. These are in our annual catalog on page 123. This is a great set of dies. It's got squares, it's got circles, it's got these little banners. I don't know. Yep, that one is big enough. So I'm going to go ahead and run this through our die cut machine. So let me pull that big boy daddy in. Get this on here all even like I want it. Hopefully my head's not in the camera. Trying to make sure I've got it centered. Let me see. Does that look even? I feel like, there we go. That's a little bit better. I'm going to run this through. Make sure I didn't move it. I kind of feel like I did. We're probably okay. It's me being persnickety like I always am. Nobody wants a tilted title sentiment on their page. Did it cut through? I kind of feel like it, yeah, it did. Okay. So, sending sunshine and flowers. And again, I got a little bit of yuck there on the top of that. And you can decide where you want to put that. I think I'm just going to put it up here. Let's put some adhesive up here. Space it however you want. Make sure it's straight. And I think because I have this extra, I'm going to pull out. These are not currently in, but I have these beautiful loose daisy embellishments from a few years ago. This is why I always save. You guys, anytime something goes on clearance, I get these because I'm always using them. There's some flowers. Nope, that one doesn't have flowers. Where's the other one? This one. See these pretty flowers? There's these. That peach would go really pretty. You could use these on there. In fact, I think I might. There's different sizes. Let me see if I can grab a couple of these little guys. Yeah, see how cute those are? Don't forget to shop your stash. Scrap your stash. Yeah, let's go with those. So those are called the loose flower flourishes. Put some of these up here. And the best way and easiest way to do that is by some little dots here. I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool, this wonderful end right here. I'm going to pick this up. I've got a little corner of a piece right here on this edge. Pick that up. Push it down. And then I'm going to take this glue dot. For little bitty ones, I always like to kind of cut them in fourths or halves at least. This would be probably easier to pick up. So I've got a half of one right here on this edge. And then I'll get the other half off of that scissor later. Put one right there. Sending Flowers and Sunshine. Okay, so there's the outside of our card. And you can even, like on this one, I pulled one of our little bee trinkets. These are the tiny bee trinkets. You could use these, again, not current. However, what is current are these brushed brass butterflies. So let's put a couple of these on here. You also, if you've got them, have these adhesive backed dragonflies and birds. Don't forget about these guys. And these work really well if you want to put a dragonfly and a butterfly on here. Again, I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool. Do I want a big one or a small one? Let's go big. Let's put one up here. Let's go small. Put one, I don't know, like right here maybe. And then let's just put a dragonfly on there. Let's use all the pieces. I mean, this lamb is just out here in this wonderful field of flowers. We want all sorts of stuff. Is there ever a way to have too much? I'm not so sure. I love bling. And this just adds to the front of your card. I've got some adhesive there that's driving me crazy. And I just hit my butterfly. There, let's put him back on. Okay. Now let's work on the inside of our card. We're going to bring back in this. This is our 3 1/4 by 4 1/8 piece. And remember, I put this little tick mark down here at the 3/4 of an inch because I want to remind myself not to stamp below that. So I'm going to grab my little tulips and my black Memento ink. I'm going to put my tulips like, I don't know, right there, just to where maybe when I pull this, slide this, the bottom part of this is not going to be seen. Okay, so there's that. Now we're going to take our little sheep. This is the one that looks like he's jumping over. So he's just having a heck of a day. He's loving life. He's jumping over these tulips. He's running through this field of flowers. And I'm going to put, since I'm doing Sending Flowers and Sunshine, we could do either one of these. You're Simply Fabulous or You Make Me Happy. I love the You Make Me Happy, especially when I'm using it with the one that's jumping. So let me grab the You Make Me Happy. Where did I put it? I thought I had it on the block already. Do I not have it on the block? Did I? You make me, nope, I don't have it on the block. Okay, sorry about that. So just a reminder how I line mine up. I use my grid paper. Make sure it's nice and straight on my grid paper. Step one. Then take a block. Put it on your block, pick it up. Tap, tap, tap. You don't have to squash it down. It's not a bug. I'm going to put it over here. You make me happy. Hopefully I got that straight. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. And now before I put this head on, I'm going to take this light balmy blue. I don't know if you've noticed on this, but if you go around the edge of your sheep like this and just kind of create a border, it gives the illusion of sky. Now you could have also, instead of using a basic white piece of paper, you could have just done this on a light balmy blue piece of paper. And then you would have had the color of the sky. So we're just going around our little image just to create this illusion of, you know, he's jumping over the flowers, over the tulips, in this field, through the sky. He's just having a fun day, like no cares in the world at all, right? Okay. That also ties in, brings in this light balmy blue from the front, from the back, and these little stripes. I'm going to take the light pretty and pink, color in these little tulips. Again, you could use the 2-set stamp. There are these 3 tulips right here that you can definitely put on a block, ink up, and just stamp down. To me, it's just easier to grab my blends. I love my blends. This is the light shy shamrock, which I kept calling the shaded spruce in last week's video. So it's not shaded spruce. It is light shamrock, shy shamrock. We could also, I didn't do this on the last card, but there is this little grass piece you could take, line up, put on a block. And let's pull out our shy shamrock. I'm not sure if any of this will peep out of the slider mechanism, but we can try. Let's just add a little bit of grass there. And then we need to pull in our scratch piece again and ink up his little bitty face. Now I didn't put a bow on this one, but you could. You could definitely, in fact, let's do it. Why not? And again, remember how your punch is. So I'm gonna just kind of put this on the side of the paper because I didn't ink up my whole sheep. I was really just concentrating on his face and that little bow. Punch him out. I'm going to take my light pretty and pink again and color in this bow, just so that we're mimicking the same sheep that's on the outside. I did not do this on the inside of my other card, but we can say that he's jumping over these tulips, or she's jumping over these tulips, and now she's just looking from the front of the card saying, hey. Okay, let's get our light petal pink. Do some more cheeky cheeks and some little ear coloring, just so we can, you know, he's a white, or she's a white sheep. Now, I'm not going to pop this one up on a dimensional like I did the outside one, just because it's on the inside of the card. So let's go right here, and then where's my pair of scissors with that little bitty glue dot? Let's see if I can get that little half of a glue dot off of there. Can she do it? Yes, she can. We're gonna just kind of pop this up under her. Oh, maybe not. Let's see if I can catch it. Oh, goodness. It's stuck on my little pokey tool. There we go. So there's our inside. Now we can go ahead. Got some adhesive. Oh no, that's my little eraser mark, or my pencil mark. So we need to erase that little, just in case it pops out and shows. We don't want that little pencil mark on there. Okay. Now we're gonna put this one on here like this. So let's get our adhesive. We're at 201. It's going to be up to you guys if you want to stick around and see what's in my box of goodies that came. There's not a whole bunch. We're going to put our little 1/16 of an inch border all the way around. Pull back in our card. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to use a piece of tear and tape. I do have tear and tape in that box because I'm almost out. I use tear and tape a lot. Okay, I'm gonna use our little pokey tool, pick that up. It's the easiest way to get that off. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this piece, we're gonna butt it up to this little seam right here. We're not gonna go over the seam, but we're gonna butt it up to that seam, making sure that we're in the middle. Are we in the middle? Yes. Okay. I'm gonna fold this top piece over, maybe even turn it on the back and give it a good smushy down, a good rub. And now what happens is it sticks to that flap. So now what we do is we're going to take our tear and tape again. We're going to put some tear and tape on this little flap that moves like this. Again, not going over the seam. We're going to put this on the edge. Oh, I didn't get that piece on there straight at all. Oh, that's what happens when you're doing white on white. That's okay. Let me see. Nobody sees that, so it's okay. Nobody knows the difference. Okay, we're going to take this piece, we're going to put it over, and we're going to push these pieces down. Okay, and so now look, he just slides in and slides out. How easy, right? See, and that grass just peaks, Okay, so what do you guys think? Do you like the landscape or do you like the portrait? You let me know. I'm curious. I kind of like the landscape. Sending flowers and sunshine. You make me happy. Love, love, love. Okay, I know we're over. I'm so sorry. But you guys are going to want to see these cute cards. Okay, so those are those. You're simply fabulous. This would make a cute baby card. So again, let's not forget about this welcome cutie. You could do this in the petal pink or the balmy blue, whether it be a boy or a girl. And this is what I was talking about, the 2-stamp stamping. So when I colored this gray in, I didn't use my blend. I used this filler piece to stamp. Landscape, me too. Good, Mom. See? You just never know. You got to try it all sorts of ways. Here's another one. This is using the Daffodil Delight paper, I believe is what it was called. It came out last spring. I loved this piece of paper pack. I used it on those Easter pop-up cross cards, if you remember. Again, I took Pool Party this time and just went around. Here is another one. This uses the other pack of paper that came in this suite. This pack of paper right here. It was the little leopard print piece. Where's the other? There's a piece of pink flowered paper. There are 3 different designs in this pack of paper, but it's got that laminate on there just like this other Easter Joy paper does. So there's that one and the little in-color dots. There is this one, so cute. You make me happy. She's with her friends, just a chillin'. This uses the product of the month, that blue pack of paper that came out in December. There is this one. And by the way, my friend Sherry loves this card that I'm fixing to send to you. She is the one who showed me this little slider card. I believe she got this from Susan Campfield, but she made some gorgeous floral slider cards. I'll ask her if I can share them on my blog. She may have put them on last weekend's Share Your Craft. So it might be in the comments under there. I'd have to check. But if not, maybe I can get her to share those. But she loves this card. This is on one of those little Weeble Wobbles. Can you just picture the little bah, bah. And last but not least, I had to, we kind of talked about this last time. This is one of those inside out cards. This was the slimline version. So it says, to a fabulous friend, and you kind of turn it like this, and it says, happy birthday. But see all the little sheeps? It's a little easel card, stands up like this. I made a bunny version, just the regular A2 size last week. But it says, you're simply fabulous. You know, the little pun. And then I used this, just using the tulips, sending flowers and sunshine. So it doesn't have to be Easter theme at all with the sheeps or the bunnies. You can just make it spring and use the flowers out of that stamp. So that's the cards that I've made using the Woolly Friends. Let me show you the bunny cards. I think I kind of showed these off last week throughout the video, but I'm not sure if I showed them at the very end or not. Here was one of the little Easter bunnies. Again, I'm just showcasing this wonderful paper. This was a bookbind Z-fold card. Oh, one of my flowers is falling. I need to fix it. I need to put a little glue dot there. Here's a little flip flap card using the egg paper. Like I said earlier, here's that wonderful basket where you can weave through the different colors. This reminds me of those old baskets that you used to have, the wicker baskets, and they would weave the little pieces of ribbon through, which you could take the blue gingham ribbon and weave through there as well. You could probably only do like 3 of them instead of 4. But another little flip flap card. This is a cute and easy way to showcase this paper, is just by taking a piece. This piece of paper is, where's my ruler? It's 6 by your typical 5.5, and it is scored at, what is that, 1 3/4. So it's just a piece of paper that measures 6 by 5.5, so 6 wide, 5.5 long, and you score it at the 1 3/4, and you burnish it down. And then I just use some dies. These are old, but we have some new ones that are in the catalog. And I don't know if you guys remembered what I said earlier, but when you take your bone folder and you press this down, it kind of gives you this silver foil that peeks through. I don't know if that camera is picking that up, but on the seam it just looks like you've got this pretty silver foil. Here's another one I did with that wonderful blue paper. And this says, if friends were flowers, I would pick you. I've used those little daffodils from the bunny set that we used last week. There's that pretty bunny paper. See, I love that it showcases that paper, the front and the back. That if friends were flowers, I would pick you is off of the Sunshine and Tulips. This has a beautiful die. I'm going to be using this next month for our spring series. Here is a little 3D pop-up. Hello, spring. Easter's on its way. This is a little slider card. I got this off of Simply Stamping with Connie Stewart. And you just hold it like this, and you push that up, and it pops up. Hold on just a second, and I'll... Can you see the dimension there? So it has this cute little, it's like an, here, let me push this out of the way. Sit it flat down on the table so you can see how much it pops up. But it's a double slider pop-up card. How stinking cute is that? Love, love, love. And then here was last week's that we made, this inside-outside A2 easel card using the bunnies instead of the sheep. Okay, I was going to show you, where is that one where it's popping up? Oh, hold on, it's not even in there. Let me grab it, because I talked about this and I want to show these to you so that you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Here's a few more cards. This was a little slider card. This is what we're making this month in my February class. This was a, you call these little pinwheel cards. They stand up like this. And so you can display it like this. And then here's a little gatefold interlocking card, so this just slides up and down and keeps your gatefold closed. But this is what I'm talking about. So because this paper cups, if you don't put that adhesive all the way up to the edge, it's going to start popping up like that. You don't want that to happen. So I've had to go back through on all the cards that I did at the beginning and put some liquid glue down on those corners to keep them from cupping up. Anyway, so there's all the cards that I made using that wonderful paper. Tons of cards. Let me put these to the side, because if you want to stay around and see what's in my box of goodies that came today, let me pull it out. I'm going to pull this up off my desk. Grab my box of goodies. Like I said, I haven't really opened this up. I opened it up to get the product of the month paper out to show it to you. That Painted Illusions paper. So, as you can see, here are some sneak peeks of what's to come. So, next month I'm going to be concentrating on spring. There is this great embossing folder called All in a Row. Let me just open this up real quick so that you can get a better look. This is not a 3D embossing folder, but it's got this quilted look. It's got some little flowers, some little dots, some little lines. So, cute embossing folder. That's going to be a lot of fun. Again, keep spring in mind. Let me see if I can put that. There we go. Now that flap won't keep popping up. Okay, look at these beautiful 3D puffy stickers. So, Softest Spring Mix and Match Puffy Stickers. This is, the reason why I have 3 of them, is March's card class. We're going to be using these. It's going to be spring themed. We're going to talk about the mix and match section of the catalog and how easy and fast it's going to be to make cards. Instead of having 3 cards for that class, we're going to do 5 cards because they're going to come together really, really fast. There's no stamping involved. We have some beautiful Easter time mix and match ephemera pack. It's not all Easter. We've got some flowers, a watering can, some pretty tulips. We do have a beautiful bunny and some Easter eggs. So we have a few of those. So we're going to use these along with the puffy stickers to give us some dimensions. They play so nicely together. All the colors match. And we're going to use these for our sentiments. This is the Greetings for All Mix and Match Ephemera Pack. So you'll be able to choose on your 5 cards what you want it to say. If you want it to say Happy Birthday or Happy Easter, Best Wishes, Thankful for You, Thanks, Thinking of You, Congratulations. You can choose and pick whatever you want your cards to say. Again, all 3 of those we're going to be using for next month's class along with these beautiful ribbons. Here is the faux linen ribbon. It's only 1/8 of an inch wide. It's in the color of Bubble Bath. It's beautiful. And then this is the same. It's 1/8 of an inch. This is called Chevron ribbon. And it's garden green. So both of those colors play very nicely with the green and the pink and those. So again, just playing with the mix and match section of the catalog for some beautiful spring cards in next month's class. I will be designing those today and tomorrow. So to be determined. They're going to be beautiful though. You know, had to get some more tear and tape, had to get some more rhinestones, replenish my stock. Not so fun, but you know, I've used all my garden green, all my pool party, my real red, my flirty flamingo, my Cajun craze. Had to replenish those from Christmas and Valentine's. So no fun there, but, and then of course, some clear window sheets. Again, from all the shaker cards that I make. Had to replenish those, was getting down to the nitty gritty. Okay, new product. Let me grab this box out of the way. Okay, let's check out. This is called Homemade Sweetness Designer Series paper. This does have a coordinating stamp and die set, which my friend Sherry bought. So, you know, I can always borrow her stamp and die set if I choose to. Wasn't quite sure if I would be making anything with this, but this pack of paper, let me just pull it out. So again, 6 different designs, 2 of each, or because there's 12 pieces of paper, you can have 1 of each side. So some beautiful jars. There's a very pretty strawberry slush color. Some spoons. I can't pick this paper up. On the back it has some strawberry slush and some pretty in pink, I think, paper. And if you guys saw the stamps and dies that went with this, this would make a lot of sense. There is a very cute die that makes a jar. So this is going to be great for spring, summer, when you start, you know, canning your jelly and your preserves and giving those away as gifts. You could use this to make some great gift tags. Here's some little ladybugs and some flowers. On the back is a beautiful plaid. I want to say that's Misty Moonlight. What's the colors in here? Let's see. Calypso Coral, Crushed Curry, Grainy Apple Green, Misty Moonlight, Secret Sea, and Strawberry Slush. Again, some Misty Moonlight with some white little flowers. There is a little Strawberry Slush. And they're calling that Calypso Coral, I guess. But really, I think that's Pretty in Pink. Yeah, Calypso Coral is too orange. That's got to be a Pretty in Pink, which they don't even name in that paper. But there's some more little jars. There's some lined paper for school if you want to do back to school, or maybe even recipes. That's probably more of what they were thinking. If you wanted to write out your perfect jam recipe, you could do that on the back and make a label with this and put it on your jar. That would be so stinking cute. Here's a great piece with peach and orange and blueberries and raspberries and cherries and strawberries. One of the sentiments in there is you're berry sweet. I think it's a pun with the word berry in it. I don't think it's love you very much. I think you're berry sweet is what it says. But there's the front, there's the back. Again, a Misty Moonlight. So a fun group of paper. Wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get around to making a class out of that, so I didn't want to get the stamps and the dies. So Gliding Garden Swing. It says, congratulations on your new home. Sending sunshine. Hang in there. Happy retirement. I thought Mother's Day, just to go out and just sit on the swing and just enjoy nature, and it just speaks calming vibes to me. So I thought that would be a very pretty Mother's Day. Here are the dies that go with that. A great tree die that you can hang the swing from. You could also even make this swing into just like a bench. It's got little feet on it instead of making it a swing. It's got some great little plants that you can put in the little pot, some throw pillows. I mean, how cute, guys. I also have a realtor, so that congratulations on your new home's gonna come in handy. Father's Day, this is a online exclusive, so this was something that we got to pre-order. You'll be able to get it March 1st or March 2nd, whenever they put it live. It's called Barbecue Master, so again, Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, you're flippin' awesome. To the Grill Master, happy birthday. Grillin' and chillin'. That would be a great one for scrapbooking. Just a little fire, some little tools, your little grill pit. Those are the dies that go with it. You could do a little shrimp kebab, a little hamburger. How cute. With all your cheese and your burger patty and your lettuce. Here's some onion, a mushroom. So cute. Some little hot dogs. And then, of course, I had to get Service Essentials. Again, another sneak peek to a March online exclusive. So, coming to you soon. My son is in the Army, in the service. So proud of you. Welcome home. You make a difference. Thank you for your service to a real hero. There are the dies that go with it. So, you know, the little tag, some of the things that they wear on their uniform. And I don't know if you guys, that plays nicely with, oh, I was going to see if I had it handy. I don't. I have another great military one. Hold on just a second. I know we're going way over, way long, but I have to show it to you. Here it is right here. It's called For Your Country. This is old as all get out, but I love that image right there. So I just, you know, I already had this, so of course I had to get this. I got to make some wonderful cards. Anyway, thanks for spending the last hour and a half with me. I know it's a long video, but you got to see sneak peeks of what's to come. You got to see all the beautiful cards, so hopefully it was well worth it to you. If you're ever wanting me to do something, if you have an idea, a thought of what you want to see on an upcoming video, let me know. I'm always open to some suggestions. Sometimes it's really hard to think about what other people like, stuff that I don't like. And so I want to reach out to everybody and give everybody a little taste of what they like. So let me know if you guys have ideas or want to see something specific. You guys have a great weekend. Happy Valentine's Day. We'll see you next weekend. Again, not sure if it'll be Saturday or it'll be Sunday. I have a card class next Saturday. So we'll be Sunday at 1 o'clock. And I'll more than likely, if I've got it in my hand, do a paper pumpkin kit using the Easter Joy. So talk to you then. See you next weekend. Bye-bye.